Have you ever stared into a mirror and felt like something was staring back? Not just your own reflection, but something else? Something ancient and hungry? Today, we're journeying back to the Bronze Age, to the sun-drenched island of Crete, home of the enigmatic Minoan civilization. Archaeologists digging through their once magnificent palaces have found something truly bizarre. Among the ruins of Knossos and Festos, they've unearthed countless polished bronze mirrors, but nearly all of them are shattered, broken into pieces, and deliberately buried deep beneath the earth. Why would a civilization so advanced, so fond of art and beauty, systematically destroy their own mirrors? The answer, according to whispers of forgotten myths, is terrifying. They were trying to starve a creature known only as the Mirror Eater. This wasn't a monster of flesh and blood that you could fight with a spear. It was a being of a different kind, one that lived within reflections. The legends say it didn't just inhabit the polished bronze. It fed on them. Not the metal itself, but what the metal held, your face, your identity. It was a slow, insidious process. At first, you wouldn't notice. You'd glance at your reflection and see yourself perfectly normal, but the Mirror Eater was patient. It would begin to nibble, taking tiny, imperceptible pieces of you. Days would turn into weeks, and you'd start to feel a strange sense of unease. When you looked into a mirror, your features would seem blurry. The sharp line of your jaw, the specific curve of your smile, the light in your eyes, it would all begin to soften and fade, as if you were looking at a watercolor painting left out in the rain. Imagine the horror. Your family and friends would start to look at you differently. They'd squint, trying to place you, a flicker of confusion in their eyes. You look tired, they might say, but it was more than that. Your very essence was being erased. The myths describe the victims becoming listless and withdrawn, as if their spirit was being drained along with their image. They were becoming strangers to themselves. The final stage was the most horrifying. One day, you would look into the mirror and see nothing. A complete blank. A smooth, featureless oval where your face should be. You were still there, still breathing, still walking, but you were no one. You had been consumed. This isn't just some campfire story. There's strange evidence that hints at this deep-seated fear. Throughout Minoan art, we see incredible frescoes, vibrant depictions of their daily life, their rituals, their gods. We see bull leapers, elegant priestesses, and fishermen. But among these beautiful images, archaeologists have found unsettling figures. In some of the more abstract or ritualistic frescoes, there are depictions of people dancing or performing ceremonies, but their faces are completely blank. Just smooth, empty ovals. For years, historians thought this was simply an artistic convention, a stylistic choice. But what if it wasn't? What if these weren't stylized figures, but portraits? Portraits of the victims of the Mirror Eater. Imagine a grand festival, a celebration of life, but moving among the crowd are these blank, faceless beings, a constant, chilling reminder of the danger that lurked in every polished surface. This fear became so overwhelming that the Minoans took drastic measures. They couldn't kill the creature, so they decided to starve it. A decree must have gone out across the island. Destroy the mirrors, all of them. They gathered the polished bronze discs, the tools of the Mirror Eater, and they shattered them. They broke them into countless pieces, believing that by fracturing the reflections, they would break the creature's hold, perhaps even shatter the entity itself. Then, they buried the shards deep in the earth, returning the bronze to the darkness, hoping to lock the creature away forever. For a time, it must have worked. With its food source gone, the Mirror Eater faded back into myth, becoming a cautionary tale told to frightened children. But here's a thought that might keep you up tonight. The Minoans used polished bronze. In our modern world, we are surrounded by perfect, flawless reflections. Every window, every smartphone screen, every puddle after a rainstorm, every shard of glass. We live in a palace of mirrors far grander than anything the Minoans could have imagined. We are constantly creating portals for this ancient being. The creature was never destroyed, merely starved. And for the past few thousand years, it's been waiting, dormant, for a world like ours to be born. A world where reflections are everywhere. A world that offers a veritable feast. Think about it. The rise of social media, selfies, the obsession with our own image. We spend hours staring at our own reflections on tiny glass screens. Could this be inadvertently calling it back? The myth says the process is slow. You wouldn't notice at first, but maybe you felt it. That strange feeling that your profile picture doesn't quite look like you anymore. That moment you catch your reflection in a dark phone screen and it seems empty. The Minoans saw the danger and chose to look away, to shatter the image and live without it. We, on the other hand, are diving headfirst into a sea of reflections. Perhaps the blank-faced figures in the frescoes weren't a warning, but a prophecy. A depiction of a future where identity becomes so fluid, so curated, so consumed by its own reflection that it ceases to have any real meaning. A world of faces without features. So the next time you pull out your phone for a selfie, just pause for a second. Look closely at your reflection. Is it really you looking back? Or is something else there, just behind your eyes, smiling with a hunger that has waited for millennia? The mirrors were broken, but the hunger remains. And it may just be lingering, waiting for you in the next reflection, you see. Thanks so much for diving into this mystery with me. If you enjoy exploring the darker side of myths and legends, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next journey into the unknown. Stay curious and maybe avoid looking too long into dark mirrors. See you next time.